more. Scientists warn today that climate change is warming the planet to the point where it's causing irreversible damage in some parts of the world.
The climate time bomb is ticking.
This is about as dire and urgent a report and a warning as we've heard.
The window of opportunity we have to make decisions that will lead us to a better future is closing rapidly.
But you want to know a secret? None of that is true. In reality, there is no climate crisis, according to Gregory Wrightstone, who is the executive director of the CO2 Coalition here in Arlington, Virginia. Gregory might just be the most politically incorrect man in America. In fact, his message is global warming is good.
Despite what you're being told, cold kills some 15 to 20 times as many people as does heat. And that's the little known fact that they want to cover up. The largest study of its kind showed that 20 times as many people died cold-related deaths as from heat-related deaths. So what's that tell you? Global warming would save lives. And, you know, when people hear that, their heads explode, but that's just the fact of the matter. Warming temperatures for the cold weather months would save possibly millions of people.
And millions of people don't even realize that the astronomical rise in their heating bills they're about to be slammed with are the result of green energy, such as solar and wind.
When the electricity that comes out, when you plug that plug into the wall, it's coming from, there's an energy mix that it's coming from. And some systems have a huge, California, for example, New York State have a large influx of renewables. Texas, believe it or not, although they've abundant oil and gas reserves, they're one of the states that are most reliant on solar and wind. And we saw what happened several years ago in the winter when the wind stopped blowing and the solar panels were covered with snow during the terrible storm. Tens of thousands of people were without electricity during just terrible cold.
Wrightstone's research-based facts and plain common sense is all laid out in his new book, A Very Convenient Warming: How Modest Warming and More CO2 Are Benefiting Humanity. Greg, tell me about A Very Convenient Warming. Why did you feel like it was necessary to write another book?
This is my mission. My wife tells me, she goes, I think that's why you're put on this earth, to preach this message, and that is of the huge benefits that are accruing. And as a Christian, we hear, well, we need to make sure we're not destroying the earth. If we were going to be killing millions of people, of course we need to make some changes. But we look at it, and this book captures so much of what we're being told that's just incorrect. Again, we see natural disasters are actually in decline. The best records we have say they've declined 10% since 2000. Disaster-related deaths, extreme weather deaths, have declined nearly 98% since 1900. It's completely opposite of what we're being told. Heat waves, and we're doing state and regional studies, but across the entire United States, heat waves, if you look at percentage of stations in the United States that reported higher than 100-degree temperatures, that factor has declined since the 1930s and is still in decline. We're seeing that maximum temperature readings have declined. What we have seen is low temperature readings, nighttime temperatures, if you will, have increased, and they've been steadily increasing. That's a good thing.
So Greg, if you just went out on the street corner in any American city, or especially any college campus, and you said, embrace the warmth, global warming is good, I mean, people would just completely freak out about that. Why is it so hard for educated Americans or educated citizens anywhere to understand these facts that you were talking about?
They kind of assume, well, yeah, there's a problem that it needs fixed. And the fact of the matter is, there is no climate crisis, and they're not getting it. And not only that, I've gone beyond that there is no climate crisis, and there isn't. There is no climate crisis that needs to be fixed. But I've gone beyond that now, and I'm talking now about how modest warming and more CO2 are benefiting humanity. And we see that with almost every metric we look at. We see that Earth's ecosystems are thriving and prospering, and humanity and the human condition are improving because of that. I call it the biggest untold story of the 21st century.